I will call the meeting to order, and I assume hi to everyone. Hope you all had a nice weekend. I will assume that there are no public comments because no one contacted you by 4, right, Jeanette? Okay. There are no additions to the agenda. We are absent our 2 liaisons tonight, so we will not have liaison reports from Dwight or Ellen. Down to item, the minutes of the March 1st and March 22nd special meeting.
I do just want to say that there is not additions to the agenda, but there is a slight change to the agenda. I don't know which copy you guys got. Hi, John. But the item 10 is next meeting, and it should read May 4th.
May 4th, Tuesday.
Tuesday, May 4th, not Monday night because of the election.
Yep.
So just a change to the agenda.
You're right. That is. Thanks for that correction, Jeanette. You're right. Okay. Everyone has noted that it's a Tuesday, May 4th. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So has everyone had an opportunity to read the minutes? First, we'll do the minutes of March 1st. Are there any corrections to those minutes? Welcome, John.
Hello.
Okay. I found none. So if no one else has found any, then may I have a motion to accept the minutes of March 1st?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of March 1st.
Janet, second.
I have to abstain because I was not present at that meeting.
Okay.
I have to abstain because I was only there for half.
Okay. All right. Would anybody else like?
Arnie's going to second.
Okay. Perfect. All those in favor of accepting the minutes of March 1st? Okay. Anyone opposed? And how many abstentions do we have?
I believe there's 2,
Mary Lee, Jennifer,
and myself, and Viviana.
and Jennifer too, and Viviana. Right. Okay. All right. Motion carried. All right. The next item would be the minutes of the 22nd, March 22nd. Anybody find any corrections to our special meeting that night? I did not find any. Okay, I'll need a motion to accept the minutes of March 22nd. Jennifer?
Make a motion to accept. the minutes.
Jennifer already had her hand up first, Janet. Okay, so, and a second?
Second it.
Okay, Janet second.
Have it.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any abstentions? There were people absent that night for that meeting, so. Okay, first, those in favor, how many?
Viviana?
Okay. Okay. Anyone opposed to accepting? Okay. And how many abstentions? Mary Lee? I'm seeing if there was anybody else absent that day. Okay. John, you were
abstained.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay. Sorry, guys. We've got it all down. Okay. Motion carried. We're down to capital and operating budgets. Jeanette, please.
Sure. So if you've had a chance to read my report, I was entirely too optimistic. And this is the problem of writing a report on Thursday and finding out more news on Mondays. So I'll make a change to that report. The operating budget came through the Board of Selectmen unscathed. I reported that last month. However, through the Board of Finance, we really did very well. $3,000 out of 400, plus thousand. I think we did very well. We lost $3,000 to our part-time all other line item, and I'm not sure why. It didn't come with an explanation. I will look into it tomorrow and see what their intent there was. It could be it was unspent dollars last year. I'm not sure what they think we're going to be doing with $3,000 less, but at this point, we will definitely inquire. On the capital budget, we fared worse. We lost the $15,000 for the chairs in next year's budget for the cafeteria of the senior center. However, I was told that their intent was not to not provide us with those chairs. Their intent is for Tony Genovese's office to find that money in this year's budget. So not a loss, moving the whole procurement up, and actually a good thing. So we did very well. And just to remind everybody, the preliminary budget hearing is April, what did I say, 19th?
Yes.
At 7:30 p.m. The meeting is a public meeting. Everyone is invited. And Ellen will likely be sending out the Zoom link, and it would be lovely to have members of the commission in attendance on that meeting, if only for, the part of it where we can say nice things about human services and the work they do. And that's about it.
Anybody have any questions? Okay.
And I'm sorry that we don't have Ellen and Dwight here tonight. Each of them apologized for not being here. Dwight wasn't sure if he'd get here late or not, so we still might see him, but Ellen ran into an obstacle. So we can't ask them tonight where we stand or why we stand where we are, but we'll definitely inquire, and I'll let you know.
Jeanette, we certainly don't need a motion to accept that report, do we? No, okay, fine. Okay, moving down on the agenda, Nancy, would you please give us the youth services report, please?
Hi, everyone. The snow art competition, we distributed prizes to the winners. So I think the last few just went out last week, and the photos are on the town website if anyone wants to see them. Saw some nice work.
I recommend it. I recommend it. Those things are really wonderful, heartwarming, to say the least.
Smiles are the best. The kids' smiles are the best.
Really great stuff.
Please take a look. ADL, the Bystander to Ally workshop. We had originally scheduled it for earlier April, but then things got pushed back at the school. So I'm still waiting for a date on that. I am going to work with the teachers on that along with Awareness Week. And so we have a meeting scheduled actually tomorrow afternoon with the student council. So we get the student ideas in, and then we have about 5 teachers and myself will all be working on that. So we'll get it scheduled soon. The after school guided study program has begun. It's remote and it's a one-on-one assistance, which is a little different from the way it usually works. But Katie McCollum, our remote only teacher, is actually in charge of it and working with the other teachers and working with students after school and doing that. So that should be ending in May. Awareness Week, as I said, we will be working on that. I did want to include the celebration of kites. We've got our kites already, so I'm hoping that gets included in that week. And we have some other thoughts for, just what we learned from the pandemic, how to be hopeful now, what we're hoping for, and we'd like to include vaping prevention so that we can use some of the money, the BODAC monies maybe towards vaping prevention. And Tricia Dahl, who works on the vaping prevention program and does the research at Yale, also has started promoting a vaping cessation program. So I did put a little blurb about that in our newsletter to have parents call me about that. But I'm really excited about just a program that they have. They will be using some financial motivation for students to follow the cessation program, check in. If they check in and they do their breath test and there's no, they haven't vaped, then there's $25 each time they check in and are successful. They step back and start again from scratch. But I think that with some motivation, hopefully, we'll be getting some help for our kids, which I'm excited about. Because we can talk prevention, but there's a lot of kids already hooked, and some are using THC oils in their vape pens. So we're hoping to get ahead of that. Red Cross babysitter training. We opened one class. I think it filled in 2 days. So so that's a morning class next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we opened an afternoon class as well for the extras from that. We lost 3 today from that, and I'm not quite sure why. So I reached out to one of the parents just to find out if there's something else going on in town that I should know about. But right now we have about 8. The second Saturday programs we started discussing with Betsy and the other departments, and youth services will kick it off with the talk art program outside on May 8th. And I believe there'll be something else going on that you'll hear about on the green as well that day. And then we'll have some games and snacks for the kids and families. First Selectmen's Youth Award, we are working on that. I have about, I think, 7 or 8 nominated already. So that's good. I'm really glad to see. It's a nice group of boys and girls, and hoping for some more. So we just sent out the word again. We just sent a reminder. Ellen sent one out on Friday. Or Thursday, so I'm hoping to get a few more nominations. They usually come in at the last minute, but it's a great program, and we do want to see, as many kids acknowledged as we can. It's always good just to have the nomination. And what I do is once they're nominated, I will send them a letter, and I send them a copy of their nomination, so they will have it included in the resume, whatever. Just make them hear the nice things that are said. Any questions?
I just have a comment, Nancy. Just want to say that Nancy's babysitter training is an in-person class. So it's going to be held in the gym, and lots of room in the gym. And I think it's our first foray into an inside class. So we'll see how it goes as far as being able to maintain the distances and the safety protocols.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jeanette. Yes, I'm excited to just have the kids back again and start seeing them in person again. I'm really excited about it. I think
the kids have been back at school in person for a while now, so it makes sense that they have the in-person classes. Makes it a regular experience.
And I haven't really been allowed in the schools to do any after-school programming yet, so I'm excited to see them. And I know they're excited to get signed up for Job Bank, and I have been working, getting more calls about Job Bank, and kids are getting, involved in that now, which I'm glad. We're getting some calls for spring cleanup, cleaning up the yard.
I have one question. Does anybody have any, I know it couldn't be a solid number, but an idea of what percentage of students are involved in vaping? How prevalent is it?
I hear it's very prevalent at the high school, not so much at the middle school. I'm not hearing much there, although I'm sure some kids are trying it. But the concern before the last youth advisory board meeting was that there's a lot of vaping going on. No numbers yet, but that more kids are getting involved with THC.
There is a high prevalence of the THC and first break psychosis.
Mm-hmm.
There's, especially with the vaping that's out now, what you can get on the black market is like 100% THC. And any younger adult that's susceptible to schizophrenia, that potency of that marijuana can trigger a psychotic episode. So scary.
Oh, scary. This is why we not only need Trisha Dahl to do a program for the kids, but also for the parents and the staff. But last time she was at the middle school, she did a program after school at a staff meeting, and she put out all the paraphernalia so the teachers would be familiar.
I've done some in-services for NAMI groups for families with children and loved ones that have mental health issues, and I'm happy to provide that if anybody finds it helpful.
All right, thank you. I'll be in touch. That would be awesome. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wonderful resource.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks,
Nancy, for that excellent report. And I'll need a motion to accept Nancy's report.
I make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
And I can second.
Okay.
Viviana.
Mary Lee, right. Mary Lee with Viviana seconding. Okay. All those in favor of accepting the Youth Services Director's report? Okay. Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next on the agenda is Jeanette, Human Services.
Sure. So first on my list is the COVID update. We continue to have clinics. In fact, this week we're lucky. Mostly they let us know on Wednesday midday for Thursday clinics, and then we're, just at it for hours. Multiple members of the staff making calls and emails and doing outreach. We were very lucky. This week they told us this morning, and we have 40 appointments this week. If you have anyone who's a Woodbridge resident who is in need of a first vaccine, it's Moderna on Thursday, and I have 21 appointments left. Didn't kill myself trying to fill these appointments today. Mostly I sent out a blanket email to our lists, and the calls just started pouring in. So we did a fine job signing up 19 people for tomorrow and for Thursday, excuse me. And if anybody has anyone, Mary Lee, are you raising your hand?
Yes, just a question. What's the age group right now?
18 and up for us, because it's really 16 and up, but the 16 and 17-year-olds cannot have they can only have Pfizer.
Okay.
So for us, it's 18 and up. I'm finally getting into seniors, one who's just been, fighting cancer for 4 years and always seems to have a chemo appointment on the days of our clinics. We arranged, and she and her provider, her helper are both getting vaccines this Thursday, and we're providing transportation. It's so great that we're able to keep doing this week in and week out and finally getting the ends of our lists, the 75 plus, the 65 plus. It's a real mix going this week. So if you have anybody, neighbors, friends, kids who still are in need, we can help out. Have them give me a call tomorrow. In mid-March, I was designated by QVHD and the town as the homebound coordinator for the vaccines. And what this entails is that DPH has a form, and those who are homebound will complete the form, or a member of their support will complete the form, submit it to DPH, and every Monday I get a list of those folks who have attested to being a homebound resident of Woodbridge. Although the first week I got a Bethany resident, but we sorted that. And my job is to make contact with them, do outreach, go through a short questionnaire and make sure that they are indeed homebound. And then the tricky part comes, because DPH and QVHD sort of, I don't know how to say this in the best PC way I can. I can make appointments for people. I can get a driver to go to their houses. I'm not a vaccinator, and I don't have any vaccine. So unless I get a partner, unless the town of Woodbridge gets a partner, we are not able to provide these vaccines. And QVHD was requested to be our partner. They are not able to comply at this juncture and have suggested we find other partners. We've exhausted looking for other partners, OVNA, VNA, a few pharmacies. At this point, the other 3 towns, I believe we're all in accord here, that are members of QVHD are just waiting for QVHD to come up with a partner for us, or the state to come up with a partner for us, because it's just silly. We're not vaccinators, and so I guess DPH has said they're not in a hurry for this program to work. They are identifying people. We're doing our part in it and talking to these folks. signing people up that we know belong on the list. But providing them with the vaccine is the tricky part, because these are not folks you can put in a car and take to a drive-through. These are people who are not leaving their homes, so a vaccinator has to go in to their homes. So a little bit tricky, a little bit of extra work here trying to figure this out, but I have confidence that the state or QVHD will come up with a suitable partner for us, and then Christy and I will work through, you know, a coordination of sending, because these are not all seniors, there are young people on the list, but sending either a driver or we'll get Frank Capiello, chief, to send a car and just sort of organize the DPH or QVHD providers in their path through these homes. So that's a lot more than I plan to say about this, but it's interesting, and I've learned from Hamden last week. They had 100 people on their list already, and we have 8. So we're really going to be fine with this. It's not going to be overwhelming. We'll do fine. I have every confidence that we'll get through what we have to do for them, because obviously we want everybody who can get the vaccine to get the vaccine. What else did I say I would talk about? Reopening plans, little change as to what I wrote on Thursday, little miscommunication. Today we arrived to have the doors of our building open when we thought we were going to only open for programming and by appointment. We've sorted out the details to have just one door of the building open right now. The senior center doors is closed because it will open for programming later in the month, and at that time people will come in. There is no coming in and hanging out at the senior center. We're not really encouraging the hangout. It's kind of come in, have your program for the hour that you're mixing with other people, and then go out. The Human Services Department is open by appointment generally, but if somebody wanders in, we are going to take care of them. So Nancy, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the girls' entrance on our side of the building?
Oh, I don't know. I should know.
I think it's the girls' door. Anyway, it's the driveway side next to the library. It's the girls' door, I believe. The boys' door by the police department will remain locked because the only people we get from that side are either folks coming to the fitness center, which won't be open during the week until May, or folks looking for the police station and wandering about. And so there's a new sign on the door that says police station that way. And if you need help at Human Services, either come around the building or call us. And so we have one door out of 3 open. We will, I'm sure Christy will talk about this, we will be opening the gym doors 8:30 to 4:30, not the workout, not the fitness center, but the gym where you vote, so people can have access who are in the center of town to the bathrooms. There are bathrooms on that floor. So are there questions? I see a lot of kind of quizzical looks. Questions about it? No?
The day of the babysitting course, we'll need it open till 5:30 over there.
Yeah, it'll be open. What we're trying to avoid, as you see me sitting here in my office, Christy sitting in hers, we do not wear our masks all day, every day, sitting at our desks. And what we're trying to avoid is somebody just wandering in right up to our desks to say, hey, where's the police station? And so when we were in the hallway, when I step away from my desk, I put my mask on. We're always wearing our masks when we're in public spaces. That's the rules here. But when I sit at my desk, I tend not to wear my mask. And I think we're going to, take every precaution to protect the staff until everyone's vaccinated and the numbers locally go down, because we're still pretty darn high here in Woodbridge, and we have all those lovely variants. Questions about that? Okay, the VITA program is continuing, even though the IRS extended the deadline by a month. The VITA volunteers are going to end here on April 14th. We will have some places to send clients in need, but not here. I believe in New Haven, there's a couple of churches where they're going to continue doing it. Our volunteers are kind of at their end. They've worked really hard, and Ellen has done a stupendous job of organizing everyone from people calling who only want to do it in person to people doing it online and talking them through the process. She really does coordinate this very, very well, and it takes a lot of effort. We get tons of calls. Finally, personnel. Exciting. Want to tell you that Christy and I interviewed 6 candidates for the clerical program assistant in the senior center. We brought back 3 for second interviews. The first interview was Zoom. The second interview was in person. We prepared a small writing test, which involved a couple of flyers, and we asked them to write a press release based on the flyers. And then Christy prepared a scheduling task where, 5 people who need rides on one day, and these are the parameters of their times, where they're going, how many vehicles we have, how many drivers, and put this together. And one of the candidates did very well, and we are interested in hiring her tonight, contingent. So the motion I would ask for would be to hire Jessica Esposito, contingent on her background check. It was submitted, it has not come back. We obviously can't hire somebody in that position without a background check. So contingent on her background check coming back clean, and considering she was a criminal justice major with a master's in criminal justice, I think she should have a clean background check. And I have to hear from one more of her references. I've heard from 2, including the acting dean of the Henry C. Lee School of Criminal Justice at UNH, who gave her a glowing review today. So I'd love that motion contingent upon the background check and final reference coming in to hire Jessica Esposito, common spelling, Viviana, beginning April 12th.
Okay.
Who would like,
At a salary, I did write that down. At a salary of $19.43 per hour, 28 hours per week.
yes. It's all in your wonderful report here, right?
Well, I tried to be more prepared than when we did the driver, and I had to write to you later.
Who would like to make that motion? Or is
I'll make a motion to hire Jessica Esposito, contingent on a clean background check and positive references.
Do I have a second for that motion?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, Janet. All those in favor of hiring Jessica Esposito? Okay. Anyone opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
Right.
It will really be a benefit here to be fully staffed. I don't know if you can notice a different background here, but I moved upstairs on Thursday, and leaving Christy downstairs by herself, and it will be great to have someone else in that position down there to assist and answer phones. The phones just, it's like the mail, it just never stops. So I just wanted to give you one more piece of information that our driver, Michael Arcangelo, who I had us meet on the 22nd for that special meeting. His background check came back. His driver history from DMV came back clean, and we have brought him on, and Christy has provided him training, and he's doing a bang up job. So just wanted to follow up on that to let you know. I think that's it for me.
Okay, I'd like to take just a moment to say that I often say to people that I'm feeling very lucky that I live in Connecticut, given how the vaccine rollout has gone. And I think that we need to give a shout out to Jeanette tonight too, because I feel very lucky living in Woodbridge. The vaccine rollout has been really wonderful for many people in Woodbridge, and it's thanks. I know that the entire staff has been involved.
Full staff.
But Jeanette, you have masterminded it all. So I really would like, I know that other people, liaisons have said things, but I think that I wanted to say that tonight too. Being tapped to be in charge of the homebound was, again, I think, indicative of what a great job Jeanette has done with the vaccine rollout and the entire staff. I really do think that. I wanted to take a moment, and I will need it.
Thank you, Susan. And again, teamwork, that's how we get through every day here. We have each other's back, and we always lean on each other fully, and that's why we want to have a full staff, so we can lean a little less on some and a little more on the new people.
Sounds good. Okay, I'll need a motion to accept Human Services report.
So move.
Arnie, okay, and John seconded it. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed? Okay, motion carried. Christy?
I'm sorry, one quick, who seconded that? I missed it.
John
John.
did.
Oh, John.
John did.
Oh, Arnie made the motion. Okay,
Arnie made the motion and John seconded it. Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
Perfect.
Christy, would you please give us the Woodbridge Center report?
Sure. Hello, everyone. As Jeanette just mentioned, in March, we worked to fill the 2 vacant positions. Michael Arcangelo has been off of his orientation for about a week now, and we're already getting really good feedback that he's doing a really good job. And the clerical program assistant, as you all just heard, by Jessica Esposito. Hopefully she'll begin on Monday, and we're all very excited to have her begin here. In-person programming begins on Thursday, April 15th, and the clients and the staff here are very excited to see each other in person again. Even though we're starting a lot of programs, I feel it's important to stress that each program was individually assessed for the best COVID safety measures to be put in place for each program. Pre-registration is required for each program, and masks must be worn at all times. In addition, a policy and procedure form was created to increase safety compliance, and these forms will be distributed to the clients either before or at the first class. All programs except for pickleball will meet outside, except for inclement weather, in which case then it'll either meet in the center gym or the center cafeteria. There will be 2 outdoor areas for programming. The craft group and art will meet under the Newton Road canopy, and exercise with Lori and targeted strength training will meet under the Grove canopy. Both of those canopies were set up last year, and it worked very well. So we're going to continue doing so in the same manner. Pickleball will meet in the center gym beginning May 10th, and pre-registration will be required. We're also keeping the size of it limited with 2 90-minute sessions for each group. The St. Patrick's Day Drive-Thru was once again a big success. It was co-sponsored by Visiting Angels. 77 people attended, and treat bags were provided by Hampton Health and Rehab. Our clients really are very appreciative of these drive-thrus, and one British couple in their 90s thanked us via email and expressed how they were always hesitant to try this boiled beef, and they were surprised at how delicious it was. And they included a poem that I'd like to share. happiest St. Patrick's Day, the center gave us takeaway. It tasted sublime, heated up in no time, and we send you our thanks and hooray. So that was sweet to hear. Our next drive-through will celebrate Spring and Earth Day on April 22nd with the Linden of Woodbridge generously providing the entire, or sponsoring the full meal, which again will be provided by Jewish Senior Services. The meal will offer a choice of gourmet sandwiches of seafood salad or curry chicken salad with a mango chutney. And there'll be an ancient grain side with pineapple upside down cake for dessert. Hampton Health and Rehab will provide a sea glass art craft, and Pierce Campbell will provide music. So hopefully it'll be a nice day and our clients can roll the windows down and listen to some music as they drive through and pick up their meal.
Christy, what day is this?
It is on April 22nd.
April 22nd. Thank you.
Yeah. We had our Get to the Health presentation in March by Kyle Brandy of Amity Physical Therapy. It was on Fall Proof Yourself While at Home. He did a phenomenal job. It was on Zoom and WGA TV. Pua recorded the Zoom presentation and ran it 2 more times on Channel 79 since the presentation. Kyle also provided exercises that was distributed via email so that people can continue to practice the exercises to remain safe at home. There was over 20 attendees and many more. I'm hearing other people who just watched it on TV. Then they're reaching out to those who are able to get the Zoom link and the exercises. The next Zoom lecture will be on April 16th, and it will be presented by Dr. Artemis Morris. It will be on decreasing systemic inflammation, and it will also be on Zoom and WGA TV. And finally, we have our new Zoom class. We have our new Zoom class starting, Tai Chi Quan Moving for Better Balance. It will begin on April 26th. It'll be 2 days per week for an hour each session. And Bill Bannock will lead this program. It's offered at no cost in partnership with the Connecticut Healthy Living Collective and funded in part through a grant from the Connecticut Department of Aging and Disability Services State Unit on Aging. And does anyone have any questions?
Oh,
An embarrassment of riches.
yeah.
Just curious, the presenters for these different programs,
Mhm.
how are they arrived at? Do they just come and volunteer, or do you folks have to seek them out?
We reach out to them depending where there seems to be interest. Jeanette, when she was the director of the Senior Center, has worked with the ones that we've used thus far. Dr. Morris is a Woodbridge resident, and Jeanette used her for presentations in the past.
Curious.
She actually has a book called Inflammation for Dummies or something like that. So, you know, she's well known in her field, and she's a Woodbridge resident, which is nice.
Local talent, right?
A lot
Yes,
of it in this town.
There is.
Clearly, if anybody has any associations with folks who are, you know, willing to do this for no fee, because, you know, it really is, it's a volunteer situation, and are willing to step up and provide an hour's worth of information to Woodbridge. And actually, it goes Zoom. We don't limit who can attend. The GATV, it's only for Woodbridge residents, but the Zoom link can go out to others. So we'd love to hear from you guys if there's somebody you know who could do one of these lectures. And they don't have to be a Woodbridge resident.
Okay. If there are no other questions, then I'll need a motion to accept. Thank you, Christy, for that great presentation. A motion to accept Christy's report.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
And a second.
I'll make a second.
Jen. Jennifer had her hand up first, I think.
Good, good.
Okay, all right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. We have come to old business, new business. Does anybody have anything? Okay. You have all noted that the next meeting is Tuesday, May 4th, okay? And if there's nothing else, then I'll need a motion to adjourn.
Oh, I have one thing. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just please make a note, because I changed offices. If you would like to reach me for any reason, always feel free to call me. It's at 203-389-34. Wait, what is my number? 3415. I'm new here. 3415. It's Mary Ellen's old line. If you are looking to reach me, please don't hesitate. And Christy is now at my old number, 3430. And that's the extent of our changes. Sorry, you can get that motion now.
Those are important things. Okay. A motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, Viviana, to adjourn.
Okay, perfect. And a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Janet, all those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Okay. It always seems so abrupt, guys. Anyone opposed? Okay. Anyone opposed? Okay, motion is carried. The meeting is over, but